This is every SML video based off of a video game, and today we're going over all of them. Starting with SML movie The Call of Duty Blackout. The video kicks off with Black Yoshi hyped up, playing the new Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and talking smack to his friend Charlie Brown 678. When Mario brings him the Special Day Zero edition, Black Yoshi loses his mind with excitement, until the power suddenly goes out, leaving him scared of the dark. Mario calls an electrician, who shows up with his annoying kid, and after some chaos involving a fried circuit, they find out a rat has been chewing the wires. Turns out, Charlie Brown 678 paid the rat in cheese to mess with Black Yoshi's power. Furious, Black Yoshi tracks him down, and he ends up being Joseph. Black Yoshi shoots him for cutting off his Call of Duty power, and later, when Brooklyn Guy tries to charge Mario $500, Black Yoshi ends up shooting his son instead, leading Brooklyn Guy to surprisingly thanking him for freeing him from child support, as Black Yoshi happily goes back to gaming. Now, that was definitely quite a crazy plot for a Black Yoshi Call of Duty video, but this video is based off of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which is the 11th installment in the series, and it released in 2014. And just like most other games, the game features a zombies and a campaign mode. Now, the campaign mode is set in the year 2054, where private military companies have taken over as main global powers. You play as Jack Mitchell, a Marine who loses his arm in battle, and later joins the high-tech Atlas Corporation, run by Jonathan Irons, who is played by Kevin Spacey, equipped with futuristic exoskeletons and advanced gear. Mitchell takes on missions around the world against a dangerous terrorist group. As the story unfolds, he begins to question the morality of Atlas's growing power and the dangers of letting private armies control global warfare. This game was another instance of a Call of Duty game set in the future, involving really futuristic battles. However, this isn't the only futuristic game that SML has made a video on, as SML movie Among Us shows off that again. In this video, Junior gets inspired by the movie Up and tries to make his house float using a bunch of balloons, but when that fails, he decides to call the aliens to take the house into space instead. While everyone's floating around, Brooklyn Guy shows up after being in the bathroom, and everything seems fine, until Bowser gets mysteriously stabbed while watching Charlie and Friends. More and more people start turning up dead, and everyone starts accusing each other of being the imposter, Among Us style, even tossing Mario and others out of the house by mistake. In the end, Chef Pee-Pee is revealed to be the real imposter after getting caught being in the vent.
What's that noise?
Oh, God.
Chef Pee-Pee!
I got you now, Junior. I'm the imposter.
Emergency meeting!
What?
However, he tricks Brooklyn Guy into thinking that Junior's the killer, getting Junior thrown into space. But once Brooklyn Guy realizes the truth, it's too late and the two are stranded in space. And the video ends with a dark hint that they killed each other or starved to death. Now, this video is one of the few videos on this list to actually have characters reenacting the game, but clearly this is based off of Among Us. Now, Among Us was released in 2018, but wouldn't see much popularity up until mid-2020. And when I say it was popular, it really was. Everybody was making videos on it and playing it. Lobbies would fill up insanely quickly. Now, Among Us is a multiplayer game where players are split into two roles, crewmates and imposters. Crewmates have to finish tasks around the map or figure out who the imposters are to win. Imposters, on the other hand, try to secretly kill the crewmates or sabotage players without getting caught. The game's main tension comes from emergency meetings and votes, where players argue, accuse, and try to uncover who's lying. Clearly, the concept of this game was really unique, hence why it went mainstream in 2020, and everyone was playing it and using it for content, just like SML did. This was when Among Us was at its peak. But what about Jeffy Plays Fortnite? In this video, Jeffy and Mario are hanging out on the couch. Jeffy says he's bored and shows Mario his homework, which was a paper with a bite mark that says 3.14 equals pi, because he literally thought it was pi. Then the news would come on talking about kids getting addicted to Fortnite, and even though Mario tells Jeffy not to play it, in classic Jeffy fashion, he ends up doing it anyways. After playing for a while, Jeffy gets mad after losing and smashes his setup. After that, Jeffy goes full crazy mode with Nerf guns, shooting Chef Pee-Pee, and even taking out Junior, Joseph, and Cody in a Fortnite-style rampage, trying to get a victory royale in real life. In the end, he thinks he's won until Mario shows up, grounds him again, and the next day, Jeffy tries to show his homework to Jackie Chu, who still can't see a thing on it.
Here's my homework, teacher. Oh, I saw Asian. I can't see the D.
Now, if it wasn't already clear, this video was based off one of the most popular video games of all time, which is Fortnite. The video was filmed around 2018, when Fortnite was really popping off, crushing records never reached before. So Logan took advantage of that and made a video about Fortnite. Now, it's pretty obvious SML likes riding the trends of new games, because just like Fortnite, they also made a video based off one of the most popular games of 2025, and that is none other than Grow-a-Garden. In SML movie Jeffy Plays Grow-a-Garden, the video starts off with Rose and Marvin planning a picnic, but Marvin's not thrilled about the idea of eating outside in the hot August sun. They argue about the grass being wet and bugs biting them, till eventually Rose convinces him to go. Meanwhile, Jeffy's busy gardening in a game, and when Marvin tries to figure out what he's doing, Jeffy reveals he has a whole virtual garden going with shekels. After a series of events with Jeffy flooding the bathroom, Marvin's left frustrated trying to clean the mess, while Jeffy's convinced he can make money off of the virtual product to pay for his new laptop and all the damages. However, he would end up stealing 1 billion shekels worth of fruit from Suzanne Huckerdu's garden.
Hank, yell louder! Be a man!
Hey! Stop it! Oh, fuck. Oh, well, looks like he got away with it.
Hank, go call the police!
He would end up being able to actually use these shekels to pay for everything, and would buy himself a new laptop, as this was a lot of money. Fun fact, 1 billion shekels is actually worth $298,946,100. Now, this video is actually based off of a game inside of a game. Now, this may be confusing if you're a boomer, but this is a Roblox game that has been absolutely popping off in 2025, along with Steal a Brain Rot, which SML hasn't made a video about yet, but they for some reason made their own version of the game. But essentially, Grow-a-Garden is a game where players purchase seeds, plant them in their garden, harvest them, and wait till they grow. Then after, they sell them for a profit in the game. Players can also get seeds and good items from the admin abuses that the owner would host every Saturday, which are worldwide events in the game, where the owner talks to the players through an in-game chat and runs events to make the seeds better, along with even spawning in really good seeds sometimes. However, as of October 2025, the game has slowly died off, with other Roblox games still taking over the video game scene. But one thing that you should know is that SML and Call of Duty go together like bread and butter, because they have made a lot of videos about whatever the new Call of Duty game is at the time, which leads us to SML movie Black Yoshi the Assistant. In this video, a Call of Duty commercial pops up on the TV for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and Black Yoshi immediately starts begging Mario for money. Mario gives in for once in his life and hands him a few $100. But when Black Yoshi rushes to buy the game, he smacks right into the window and sees that Junior and his friends are already getting it. Junior ends up snagging the last copy, and furious, Black Yoshi begs everyone, even Brooklyn Guy, for the game. But he has no luck. Desperate, Black Yoshi agrees to be Junior's assistant to play the game.
How about you be my slave for a full 24 hours?
Whoa. What are you doing?
That was the script.
You can't say that.
But after being bossed around non-stop and even being told to wipe Junior, he had enough, and because of this request, Bro took it way too far.
Black Yoshi! What do you all vote?
Can you wipe me?
Yeah, that was definitely quite the sacrifice to get Infinite Warfare, but at least Black Yoshi got to play a really good game, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is the 13th installment in the Call of Duty series, and was released in 2016. The game goes similarly to most other Call of Duty games. However, this one takes place in the future. It involves us fighting in a war between the United Nations Space Alliance and the Settlement Defense Front to get control of the solar system. However, now let's talk about games from the franchise that Logan originally based SML off of, and that brings us to SML movie Cody's Missing. The video kicks off with Junior and Joseph chillin', playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, when Cody walks in and asks to join, only to find that he's not even a playable character. Furious, he rants about how random characters like Link and Isabelle made the cut when he didn't, which causes him to storm home crying. Later, he finds out that he's missing from other Mario games too, and after completely losing it, he shows up dressed as Metal Baby Cat Cody, trying to prove that he deserves a spot, but that doesn't work either. Eventually, Junior and Joseph feel bad for him and show him Mario Superstar Baseball, where Cody finally discovers he is a playable character, and everyone ends up cheering for him as Junior declares Cody deserves to be in every future Mario game. Now, this video is pretty cool, and it's based off multiple games this time instead of only one. It features Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Superstar Baseball, and Mario Power Tennis. Now, all these sports-related games are cool, but what about games SML was paid to make a video about? That brings us to none other than SML movie Cody's favorite game. In this video, Junior complains to Cody that he's bored. Cody, being totally focused on his phone, tells him that he's playing Lords Mobile, and that he's, quote, hooked like a fish. He starts going on about how this strategy game was picked as one of Google Play's most competitive games, and even got named Android's Excellent Game of 2017. Apparently, over 130 million people play it around the world, and it's free. Then, Cody drops the big news. 3 lucky players can win a free iPhone X and a PS4 Pro.
Unless you're one of the lucky people that they send a free iPhone X and a PS4 Pro. What? Yeah, that's right, Junior. They're gonna select 3 lucky winners to get an iPhone X and a PS4 Pro.
Naturally, Junior's interested now, so Cody starts showing him how to play. Junior flips on the TV, and boom, a Lords Mobile commercial comes on featuring King Strongbottom. Right then, Jeffy walks in, and Cody starts hyping up the game to him too, which immediately gets Jeffy hooked as well. Suddenly, the doorbell rings, and it's Mr. Goodman. He walks in and just starts dumping piles of money all over Cody. The video wraps up with Cody lying on top of the money, grinning, and promoting the game in the description. Now, this was very clearly a sponsored video. The first one SML made, to be specific. However, the game they show off is Lords Mobile, which is a mobile game that released in 2016. And the game is about managing your own kingdom, where you hire your own heroes and train them to fight other real players or monsters to protect your kingdom from getting attacked. Some aspects of the game have a similar concept to the mobile game Clash Royale, and in 2017, 130 million people did actually play it at the time, and to this day, it still has over 200 million players all around the world yearly, which is pretty impressive for a mobile game. However, the video game related sponsored videos unfortunately aren't over yet, as SML movie Jeffy Plays Genshin Impact is another one in that category. We start by seeing Junior asking Jeffy and Cody what they want to do, and when Jeffy says swimming sounds good because it's super hot, Cody interrupts by saying he's busy playing Genshin Impact. Junior's never heard of it, so Cody proudly shows off his game's world, powers, and characters, especially the female ones, which instantly grabs Junior and Jeffy's attention. Jeffy downloads the game, picks Amber because of her bunny ears, and hilariously ends up making Cody fight a boss alone while taking all the credit afterwards. Then Marvin shows up, grounds Jeffy just so he can play, and after Rose questions him, he convinces everyone to join in, ending the video by telling viewers to download Genshin Impact. Now, it's obviously a very similar concept to Cody's favorite game, but this time around, it features more SML characters, and it's about Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact is a game that was released around September of 2020, and it actually released on various platforms. It started off by releasing on PS4, PC, iOS, and Android, and later in November on Xbox consoles. But besides that, Genshin Impact is an open-world RPG that drops you into the stunning world of Tibet, where you play as a mysterious traveler searching for your lost sibling. But there's definitely some hate for it out there, which is to be expected, to be fair. However, the next game is just as unique as Genshin Impact, which brings us to SML movie 1-2 Switch Bodies. The video starts off with Junior freaking out because he just won a brand new Nintendo Switch from a YouTube giveaway. He calls Cody to brag, but Cody thinks he's lying until Junior tells him to come over and see it for himself. When Jeffy shows up, Junior tries to figure out how to take the controllers off, and Jeffy almost cuts them with a saw. However, they found out how to take them off, and they would decide to play a game that was installed on the Switch, which was called 1-2 Switch. And after starting to play it, once they followed the instructions and started to look each other in the eyes, lightning would magically strike them and they would switch bodies.
Look me in the eye, look me in the eye.
I am.
You're just a little cross-eyed, so I thought that was kind of weird. Oh man, what happened?
Now, after this, things go completely off the rails. Nobody believes that Junior is really stuck in Jeffy's body. Chef Pee-Pee freaks out, more lightning hits, causing Cody and Chef Pee-Pee to swap bodies too. And after a bunch of chaos, and Jeffy nearly electrocuting himself, everyone finally switches back, though Junior totally forgets how it happened in the first place. Well, this video is quite the interesting one to say the least. However, this video was based off one of the games that come with the original Nintendo Switch launch, which was 1-2 Switch. Now, before we get into the game, don't worry, you will not get struck by lightning while playing. But anyways, this game was released in 2017, along with the Switch launch. And in the game, 1-2 Switch is a fun party game where you don't really focus on the TV screen. Instead, you listen to the sounds and use the Joy-Con controllers to play. The game comes with 28 different mini-games, most meant for 2 players, using 1 Joy-Con each. A lot of the time, you're even supposed to look at your opponent instead of the screen. Other than short tutorial clips, the game mainly uses sounds and the controller's rumble to let you know how you're doing. Now, when it comes to the mini games, it involves things such as dance-offs, cow milking, and quick draw duels. Now, it's definitely a unique party game, and in 2017, we never saw something quite like this before, so it's quite the experience to play. However, we aren't done with Switch games, as SML movie Mario's New Hat is inspired by one of the most popular Switch games. In the video, we see Black Yoshi gaming on Call of Duty, when Mario tells him he's getting married to Rosalina, which Black Yoshi thinks is a dumb idea. While Mario is getting ready and accidentally leaves his hat in the bathroom, Shrek barges in, takes a huge dump, and ends up using Mario's hat as toilet paper. When Mario finds this out, he's furious and upset because now he has nothing to wear for the wedding, especially since he's bald. Jeffy decides to help by drawing a new hat with eyes using his magic pencil, but when Mario puts it on, it somehow lets him possess whatever it lands on, leading to chaos until the wedding, where everything finally works out and Mario and Rosalina tie the knot. So at first, to any casual viewer, this doesn't really seem like it's based off of anything, but if you're a Nintendo fan, you would know that this game is based off of the super infamous Super Mario Odyssey game. This game released on the 27th of October 2017 and is a 3D platformer, but it was something that we've never seen before. In this game, you could free roam multiple different worlds as Mario, with his new companion named Cappy, a red Mario hat with eyes on it that could turn Mario into anything that it lands on. You would have to complete missions and collect moon coins to advance worlds, and fight boss battles along the way, eventually leading to the big Bowser final boss fight on the moon. Now, this game for sure sounds awesome, and it truly is, as it got 4.7 out of 5 stars. Along with that, it's in the conversation for being in the top 5 Mario games of all time. This game even had people jumping out of their chairs when it came out.
Oh! Oh!
However, while this game may be in debate for top 5 Mario games of all time, this next game is in debate for top 5 video games of all time. And that brings us to SML movie Jeffy Plays Minecraft. In this video, Jeffy is annoying Mario until Mario tells him to calm down and play on his laptop. So Jeffy hops on Minecraft. In the game, he talks to animals, builds a giant statue of himself, freaks out over a spider, and blows stuff up with TNT. After having so much fun, Jeffy tries to play Minecraft in real life and starts smashing things with a toy pickaxe, which lands them on the news and leads to Minecraft being banned everywhere. Later, Jeffy copies another YouTube video and breaks a cup. And after more chaos, he teaches Mario that instead of blaming games or videos, he should just be a better parent. So they finally bond for once and go on bike rides together. This video is based off of one of the most iconic video games, Minecraft. Now, at this point, if you haven't played Minecraft before, you must be living under a rock. They would even come out with a whole movie about it, featuring Jack Black. However, we aren't done with successful games from the early 2010s that SML has made videos on. And that brings us to another Call of Duty game, SML movie Black Yoshi's New Call of Duty. The video begins with Black Yoshi playing Call of Duty after getting out of prison. When Mario tells him there's a brand new Call of Duty, which is Black Ops 2, Black Yoshi doesn't believe him at first. So Mario shows him a picture online, but he accuses Mario of faking it and calls GameStop to check, only to find it's sold out everywhere. Furious, Black Yoshi tracks down the guy who bought the last copy and ends up stealing the game and literally killing him.
Yeah, give me that Call of Duty, folks.
Oh, don't take it, man. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, man. I like these slides, too, folks. I'm gonna take these.
When he brags to Mario about it later, Mario reveals he's wearing a wire. Then shortly after, Goodman shows up to arrest him, and Black Yoshi would attack him and run off. Well, the video definitely took a really unexpected turn during the second half. However, this was based off one of the most popular Call of Duty games in the franchise, and that was Black Ops 2. The game came out on November 13th, 2012, and the game has zombies and a campaign mode like most games. And for one of the first times ever, we would see the campaign mode have a storyline attached to it. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 tells two connected stories, one in the 1980s and one in the year 2025, both revolving around the villain Raul Mendez. In the past, soldiers Alex Mason and Frank Woods cross paths with a young Mendez during a war in Angola, sparking a deep grudge. Decades later, Alex's son, David Mason, has to stop Mendez from taking control of the US drone army and starting a global war, all while the world faces chaos from a massive cyber attack. And in the game, our job is to stop it. Now, funny enough, the game took place in the year we are right now, so hopefully Black Ops 7 has some sort of BO2 connection there. But what about the Luigi Mansion series? Now, this is one of the series that Logan has based off of a video game, and this series features 8 episodes. Now, the series is a fun SML spin-off inspired by the classic Luigi's Mansion games. One night, Luigi wakes up to find himself trapped in a creepy, haunted mansion filled with ghosts of the other SML characters. To save them, he has to hunt down their lost souls and put them back into their bodies. But of course, that is not that easy. Boos are lurking around every corner, ready to scare the life out of him. Throughout each episode, we see Luigi hunting down the souls of different characters and encountering problems along the way. Now, this series is very similar to the original Luigi's Mansion games. In the actual games, we see Luigi try to save Mario by exploring a bunch of haunted locations, and he has to do various things such as solving puzzles, completing assigned tasks in the haunted areas, and fighting a bunch of boos along the way. Now, honestly, Logan doing series based off of video games was really unique at the time, and it sucks that he doesn't really do them now. But on the other hand, he never stopped making Call of Duty game-inspired videos, which brings us to SML movie Black Yoshi's Call of Duty Special Edition. The video starts with Mario and Rosalina getting ready to head to the airport for their honeymoon, but they need someone to watch Jeffy. Mario lies and says that he found a babysitter, even though he actually just tied Jeffy up in the closet for no reason. Once they leave, Black Yoshi spots an ad for a new Call of Duty bundle, and then literally jumps up to the plane mid-air to beg beg Mario for it, forcing an emergency landing.
Oh, Mario, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Mario, please! Breaking news, okay? A commercial airplane has had to make an emergency landing because a black man was holding onto the window screaming, "Mario, please."
Back home, Mario's furious that their honeymoon got ruined, and things spiral as Black Yoshi tries every shady way possible to buy the game, including stealing Mario's credit card and making a fake ID, only for it to actually work, and Black Yoshi gets the game along with the limited edition console. However, Mario would catch him with the console and try to return it to GameStop, just for them to not even refund Mario. Now, this time around, the game the video was about was Call of Duty World War II, which launched on November 3rd, 2017. This was the 14th installment in the series, and it features a campaign, multiplayer, and zombies like in most other games. Now, the campaign mode is heavily inspired by the actual World War II that happened, and it involves a character named Ronald Daniels, which is a new recruit in the US Army, and he has to fight in World War II in the Western Point, starting with the D-Day invasion in Normandy, along with him and the other allied troops pushing through places like Hurtgen Forest and the Battle of Bulge on their way into Germany. Now, this game is one of the more mid Call of Duty games, but it still has a really good storyline. But that's not it for Call of Duty games. As in SML movie Black Yoshi's Call of Duty Lone, we get to see one of the most popular Call of Duty games featured in the video, and it starts with Mario watching TV when a Call of Duty Black Ops 4 ad pops up, and he immediately panics knowing Black Yoshi's about to start begging. Sure enough, Black Yoshi literally ships himself to Mario's house just to ask for the game, and Mario gets so fed up that he mails him off to Antarctica. Somehow, Black Yoshi still manages to call from the frozen wasteland, and along with that, he would borrow $200 from Brooklyn Guy and spend it all on cookies instead of paying him back or buying the game. Things end with Brooklyn Guy selling Black Yoshi's Xbox for revenge, Mario pretending to send him a new one, and Black Yoshi winding up in the jungle being chased by a tiger. Yeah, very random. Now, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was the 4th installment in the Black Ops portion of Call of Duty, and the game would come out on October 12th, 2018. Now, Black Ops 4 would come out with the traditional modes, which were multiplayer and zombies. However, one key mode was missing, which was campaign mode. This would get replaced by a new mode called Blackout. The mode was more of a battle royale style of Call of Duty, and with Fortnite's insane success at the time, Activision definitely took advantage of this and decided to add this in. Now, this mode was good, but a year later, we would see Warzone come out, and this would be the official battle royale for Call of Duty. Speaking of battle royale, in SML movie Jeffy Gets Stream Sniped, we see a game we already went over featured again in just a few years. Now, in this video, we see Junior, Cody, and Jeffy hanging out on the couch when Cody reveals that he's trying to break a world record by drinking orange juice for a week straight. Meanwhile, Joseph shows off some stolen Fortnite V-Bucks, and after they all find out that stolen gift cards don't work, Jeffy decides to dress up as a girl to live stream for donations so that they could buy V-Bucks, which leads to them getting stream sniped in Fortnite by none other than Brooklyn Guy, as he promised Jeffy donations if they won the game. After all the stream sniping, the boys track him down and pull a Nerf gun revenge mission, while Cody keeps chugging orange juice like his life depends on it. In the end, Cody turns completely orange, barely beats the record, and Brooklyn Guy realizes that he lost his title, right after finding out that the Miami Heat won. So he decides maybe the day wasn't so bad after all. Now, this video was yet again involving Fortnite, which we went over earlier. However, this video shows gameplay from Chapter 4 Season 1, which was the 23rd season in Fortnite, and was based around medieval times with a completely new map. This season launched on December 4th, 2022. However, this video was also making fun of a huge issue in Fortnite, which is stream snipers.
4-player stream sniping.
Now, stream snipers are people that sit in people's lobbies and try to get in the same game as them so they can either kill them, give them free loot or kills, or sometimes spell out very inappropriate things with building. cheating. Now, SML did a pretty good representation of that, and made the situation pretty accurate to actual instances of this. However, if we're talking about SML and video games, we can't forget about the SML Five Nights at Freddy's videos. Now, this is a series on the channel, but there are many different games related to the videos. So let's talk about the first video, which covers the first ever Five Nights at Freddy's game. In this video, Brooklyn Guy shows up at Marvin's place looking for someone to guard Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and Jeffy, already dressed like a cop, says he's down for the job. When they get there, Brooklyn Guy shows Jeffy the security room with all the cameras, but they quickly realize that some of the animatronics have gone missing, and Brooklyn Guy immediately blames Jeffy even though he was right there with him. They manage to round the animatronics up, but things go haywire when the cameras glitch, and the bots scatter again. Then Foxy locks them in the room, and the power dies. Brooklyn Guy and Jeffy keep trying to escape, fighting off the animatronics until they finally make it out in one piece and head back home, totally done with Freddy's madness. Now, thankfully, Brooklyn Guy and Jeffy didn't die, but this video was based off of the original Five Nights at Freddy's game that released in August of 2014 on Steam. The game follows Mike Schmidt, a night security guard working at the creepy Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Each night, he has to survive until 6 a.m., where the place's animatronic mascots come to life and try to kill him. With only limited power, Mike has to carefully use the security cameras, lights, and doors to keep himself safe. It's all about staying alert, managing power, and praying you make it through the night. And if the power runs out, let's just say you're cooked. Now, this game would see insane success, as Scott Games has made many more video game titles, and we would even see a whole FNAF movie in 2023. Now, while we can never get enough FNAF video games, we can also never get enough Black Yoshi and Call of Duty videos, which brings us to another one. SML movie Black Yoshi's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. In the video, we see Mario just wanting to chill and watch TV, but Black Yoshi barges in wanting to play Call of Duty instead. They argue about it until a commercial for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the 2019 one, comes on, and Black Yoshi immediately starts begging Mario for it, so loudly that he uses a megaphone and makes Mario go deaf. After calling Brooklyn Guy for help, a bunch of chaos follows, involving hearing aids, and after all of this shenanigans, Bro would go out of his way to steal a Call of Duty display case from Walmart, because he thought the real game was inside. He even sneaks out the actual game using Brooklyn Guy's key, but he gets caught later, only to find out there's a free Call of Duty mobile game, which he ends up stealing Mario's phone to play. In the end, Brooklyn Guy tries to relax with some Hawaiian punch, and spills it on himself yet again. Alright, now eventually we get to the point where the Call of Duty franchise gets really confusing. This video is talking about the 2019 version of Modern Warfare, not the 2007 version, or any sequels of Modern Warfare. Now, in Modern Warfare, we would see a campaign make a return to the game, as Warzone would come out as its own game. Along with that, we would see multiplayer stay, along with multiplayer having full cross-platform functionality for the first time in the series, and zombies unfortunately being taken out, and replaced with the cooperative modes. Now, the campaign storyline follows a CIA agent and Captain Prince from the British SAS, as they team up with Farah Keem and her Uzbekistan Libertarian Force to recover stolen chemical weapons from a terrorist group called Al-Qaeda. Their mission quickly turns into a much bigger fight against Russian forces occupying Kyrgyzstan, led by the ruthless General Barkov. As the war intensifies, they're forced to make tough moral choices to stop an even larger global disaster. The campaign dives deep into the gritty realities of modern combat, terrorism, and the blurry lines between right and wrong in war. However, we aren't done with Modern Warfare yet, as in SML movie Dougie's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3-2, we see the most recent Modern Warfare installment wanting to be played by ya boy Dougie. The video starts with Marvin and Rose enjoying some Panda Express, when a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3-2 commercial pops up on the TV. Marvin immediately panics, knowing Dougie will show up begging for the game, and sure enough, his fortune cookie even has a note from Dougie that says, "Marvin, please!" Dougie bursts in begging for the game, and spins a ridiculous story about losing his money at SeaWorld after getting swallowed by Shamu and meeting Pinocchio. When Marvin tells him to get a job, Dougie instead steals coins from a mall fountain, only for Brooklyn Guy to confiscate them. Still desperate, Dougie then decides to find old people from the Guinness Book of World Records and trick them into giving him their credit card numbers. However, the records guy would see that Dougie is a dinosaur and would pay him $100 for a picture. After this, Dougie would send Marvin to get the game. However, just as you would expect, Marvin would get the wrong Modern Warfare 3.
All right, Dougie, I got you Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and it only cost $5. So I got $95 back in change, and I gave it to a homeless person to make up for all the bad stuff you did today.
Marvin, are you stupid? This is the old Modern Warfare 3!
It doesn't matter, it's all the same shit.
Now, this title may have confused a lot of you. As well, it really is confusing, as this video is based off of the new Modern Warfare 3 that came out in 2023, not the 2011 version. Now, in this game, we see a campaign mode like usual, along with multiple different side modes. The game features classic modes like Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Search and Destroy, along with large-scale battles, in-ground war, and invasion. There's also a unique 3v3v3 cutthroat mode, and the objective-driven war mode for more intense team play. On top of that, players can jump into zombies mode for co-op undead action, or tackle the two-player survival mode, fighting off endless waves of enemies together. Now, clearly, this game was more of a game filled with game modes, and the campaign kind of got undershadowed, which made the community really not like the game. I miss the days when the campaign was the drawing point of the COD series. This campaign was 100% AI generated. Yeah, so it wasn't the best to say the least. However, in recent years, Call of Duty has started seeing a steady decline in game quality, so this sort of makes sense. Well, that's all the SML videos about video games that I could find. If you enjoyed this video, tap the video on screen. I'm sure you'll love it.